Welcome back to Let's Watch Mahouka, everybody. This is the point. This is definitely the point. This is where it starts. It tried to ease us in, it tried to get us familiar with the world and the characters and stuff. Or if you want to be less charitable, it was winding us up, getting us comfortable before here comes the knife. Right in the ribs. I simultaneously want to warn you all, you haven't hit that play button yet. There is time to stop the key from turning. But this is why we're here. This is why I'm here. This is why this show got a rep. Because so far it's been just a show. And with some bad elements, and some really bad elements, and some alright elements, but up to this point, it changes. And what's hilarious, it's going to go back to being dumb, mediocre, every anime ever in a little bit. But until that point, we're going into a new arc. And it's I can't say enough about it. So let's just get into it. But consider yourselves warned, motherfuckers. This is the time. Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm glad we're going through it together at least. Although first, also remember, what countries have flags that have red, white, and blue in them? Modern Russia, France, United States. What did all those countries do to the glorious Imperial Japan? Yeah. See, Tatsuya is flawed. He doesn't get practical stuff. It's also clear by this point he's hiding his real power. So that people don't get jealous of him. Ouch! You just realize you just insulted the fuck out of her, right? Very subtle author. People refuse to see your real talent. That's the third pillar. It's not that discrimination is bad. You're just not discriminating against the right targets, guys. And it's time to let's splain stuff to get the main character over. Let's splain. That phrase again seems to be getting to her for some reason. I kinda get that. You just apply force in one direction. I'm already good at that. You thought I was exaggerating. I guarantee it is not in the nature of the human mind to assume the worst. Not normally. It is admirable to have a goal like that, I guess. I love the... Oh, I'm getting Deadly Premonition flashbacks. Also, her eyes are again referenced. Wow, you managed to inspire someone else. This was kind of out of nowhere, yes. Rip. Quick, bully her for having giggles. Hmm. So his family like forced him to become a magic user? Did they make him like a super soldier thing? Cause like I don't think he's a robot like exactly. Is he like some kind of child super soldier? Cause that's better. They have a reason why he's so good. They feel it's not just that he was just born good. It's still not his fault he got hit by the awesome train, you know? So don't be hating. Even that, at this point in the show, I was getting really fucking annoyed the first time through, but I'm like, you know what? It was a nice little scene with them just being friends. But they used it to explain and get him over. Rather than just talking like fucking people do. That actually kind of disappointed me. I was like, wow, something that could have legitimacy, worth, art, craft, or soul nearly happened. Thank God they handled that. Gotta save it. I kind of wish the magic guns were standard issue. I loved the Persona 3 evokers. Absolutely loved the, put it to your head, boom, and the Persona comes out. I've never found a magic activation thing that's more badass than that. It's weird because, like, don't try that at home, kids, but, like, it was so unique. He's stunned into silence. I like that. No, no, listen. This is just a scene to prove that when liberals talk about sweeping things like inequality, they don't have any substantial things to talk about, of course, everybody, because they do get treated the same. They set him up as being bullied so that he can have an expert opinion to say that you're wrong. Look, what do you expect? Oh, I'm glad you can ignore bullying and discrimination. What? It's not like you can blame the school for bullying. It's already against the law. What do you want? What? Oh, oh God! It's the razor blade in the apple. Even in scenes where you don't think there's anything, they're just gonna. And this isn't a politics. Well, actually, it's deeply political. But this isn't like me slamming any actual person for their politics, except the person who wrote this. This is an extreme. Uh-oh. The liberals are making their move. They're using the school's PA system without authorization. Bastards! Of course we've cut off their power. Criminal scum. Damn thieves! Like all these liberals inherently are. What, you think treating them decently will make them treat us decently? That's not how these swine work. They're not noble like we are. Literally, by birth. Remember, all these guys are come from famous families and shit, right? Maybe we should talk about this before we send in a fucking SWAT team or something. Hey, that seems reasonable. Oh, yeah. And Tatsuya's like, damn it, just let me go in and beat him up. He's got a point. If you resolve this wrong, it'll just damage this. Also, people could get hurt, which is very extreme. Those damn emotional liberals. I didn't want to negotiate, but we'll talk about your problems, I guess. Wow, Tatsuya solved that situation flawlessly. Again. Uh-oh. Of course I lied. It's okay to lie to your enemies. And everyone's like, oh, very clever. Nice. Criminal scum. Actually, he legit did. It is pretty extreme to go right to this, but the thing is they're strawmen. And this is the real thing about it. Even if you oppose liberals yourself and you have a different opinion about all this, consider it's the straw man of it. Consider if your side was portrayed as unreasonable, as having no legit points, going out of their way to show them as the villains. In fact, I'm sure it's happened in real life, because in politics this happens to everyone. And it doesn't help anything. People who agree with you like it. But the people who agree with you are going to agree with you anyhow. I am not a centrist. But I used to shove it in people's faces what I thought about things like that. I'll still fight about stuff like that, because I feel very strongly, but there's... See, all those damn protesters. They don't have any real policy suggestions. Not like, us. But I guess we'll have to talk about it with an open forum. Very us versus them. Us being the elite. Had to be me. Someone else would have got it wrong. Emotional manipulation. Also, as long as it's about logic, I'm flawless. Oh boy. I like how he hadn't considered that. That's a good enough sentiment. Though of course we know they won't. Actually, this approach to politics is exactly how this thing approaches fighting. You've seen how the battles go so far. There's no tension. It's just an effortless curb stomp. Like, there's no narrative tension or stakes. So I guess them approaching this the same way would make a lot of sense in a weird way. Big manly protector. Gonna have to protect the woman folk. That's an ironic line, given what will happen later. Because he looks like shit in them. Tatsuya's always quietly judging everyone around him because they don't meet his fucking standards. Oh, he doesn't have an ordinary family. Oh no. He does have a famous clan, which is why he's, notable. Like a Shakespeare plays. No other casualties of note, just some commoners who died. Of course we gather information on everybody, just in case they're a threat that we need to put down. They've got a mysterious secret. Of course he's connected to the foreign terrorists. Seriously, that's the plot. Oh, he's got it in the blood. Breaking the law. Probably because they're jealous. This reminds me of the Equalist from Korra. That's a good way to do that plot. This is the really fucking bad way to do it. And I guess that's the message for a lot of things this show does. There's better. Is how I just like the whole Equalist, the first season of Legend of Korra. That plot is kind of like this, but you have to be careful when you're doing this sort of plot, because this is a reverse of the way plots have always been told. The underdog story versus they're jealous of us elites. And once again, listen to that guy yelling and being emotional. And of course, he's perfectly calm and Japanese. Of course, all their clubs do really well. Seriously, we might have to beat these fuckers down if the peasantry gets too uppity. Gasp. No, look, guys. Look, what's really happening is you all who are being discriminated against, you're making yourselves victims. You're choosing to be discriminated against. Look, okay, look. I'll explain to you as a person who's not being discriminated. Look, we should. What? You want us to put white people on the back of the bus? I'm sorry, this is gonna go. Look, everyone. These are the best years of our life, so let's not be uppity. And of course, at the end, because liberals have no valid arguments they can present, all you have to do is stand up to them and point out they're wrong, and everyone will come together. If you think I'm being rough on this episode, just wait. See, there you go. We got this all wrapped up. However, what's the next logical resort that all these filthy, liberal, Republican, Democratic, allied forces, Frenchmen, Russians, and Americans all do? After they've been proven wrong by logic and everyone is against them, what is the last resort of all of them? Why, of course, terrorist attacks. Also, one thing to note. Quick, explain it. That's the most important thing right now, is to splain. This is what happens when you listen to liberals. Also, notice in the coming battle scenes, what's supposed to be like, look at this. They're fucking nuking this school with like machine guns, like this is a full-blown, like missiles are hitting the building. But there will be no tension among these battles. There are no stakes, and you need that. This isn't just. Also, yes, that did come the fuck out of nowhere. Like Jesus. But like I said, when the filth, when the liberals have been defeated, as they must be, because they don't have any legitimate points, then of course they resort to terrorism. Unlike our noble heroes, who would never do something like resorting to violence to get their political goals. No. Damn it, if only the government was tougher on these swine. If only those in the lower class didn't keep getting these ideas of equality and doing. But like, yeah, it can feel like a sucker punch if that just like, we're just talking about it and then boom, terrorism. These battle scenes ahead, it's like they put on a clinic of how not to do it. Because in a battle scene, I'm not saying it has to be the Death Star about to destroy the rebel base every time, but there's a reason that works. You would do well to understand these things, because if you don't think about it, you end up writing really bad action, which is that's what we're in for next time as the terrorist attack begins on the school. As we just see it next time on Mahouka. I don't know what the fuck to say about this. This is not an attack on anyone's politics, particularly any actual real people, except again the person who wrote this shit. But just listen to what they're saying. And listen to the way it's being presented, for God's sake. And it's like... It's not even hidden. You know, all the stuff, like, Kantai collection for the longest time, you know, the noble Japanese ship girls of the Imperial Japanese Navy are fighting against an alien force, and they were kind of the Americans, because, you know, if there was one side in World War II that were definitely monsters, it was the Allied forces. Nanking! Nanking! Actually, I'm going to be saying the word Nanking a lot, I think, because you'll never guess who sent the evil terrorists and where they come from. Ah, yes. Yeah, we're into it now, everybody. We're into it now.